Hi everyone, this is Mrs. McGee, and I love math. It's okay if you don't love math. I love it enough for all of us, and I'm here to help you understand it better. Let's get started. Today we're going to graph a linear equation when it's in point-slope form. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any videos that I post. Thank you. Let's talk about point-slope form. First of all, we have to recognize what's in the equation. Y minus y1 equals m times the whole quantity of x minus x1. So let's talk about what this means. The x and the y that don't have the little sub numbers 1, they are in the equation and they stay in the equation and they represent all the x and y's that are in the linear equation. Let's look at the m. The m is the slope. Just like in our other linear equations, m represents slopes and it is in front of the parentheses. And then we have x1, y1. You have to be very careful with the x1, y1 because there are subtraction signs in front of them that have to be in the equation. The x1, y1 represents one chosen point. Whatever point you pick, I'll call that the chosen point. It's the one you have chosen to use or the book or your teacher has chosen to use. And so we are going to graph based on this. So let me put an equation here. Y minus 6 equals 2/3 times the quantity x plus 1. In order to graph an equation when it's in point-slope form, we need to know the slope, and we already know that that's the m, that's the one in front of the parentheses. So we already know that the slope is 2/3. Up 2 over 3, or rise over run. The next thing we need to know is we need to know a starting point. So the xy gives us the starting point. The x1, y1. Now we have to be careful with this sign. It should be a subtraction sign. So if the x1 right here, if that's a positive one, that means it started out as a negative one. And then when we did x minus negative 1, that's how it became x plus 1. Then we look at the y1. That is a minus 6. The minus should be there. That means that the y1 is a positive 6. So our chosen point that we're going to start with is -1, 6. So you always start with the point that you know is on the line, -1, 6, right there. And then from that point, you're going to count the slope. It's a positive 2/3, so we go up 2 over 3. Many mistakes are made sometimes when we're graphing, and one of the most common ones is that people put the point -1, 6, but then they start counting slope from the origin. Make sure you don't do that. -1, 6 is on the line, so you count the slope from that point. And then we connect our point, our 2 points, and I always like to make sure that I cross the x and the y axis, put arrows on them because our linear equation goes on forever. There is our graph in point-slope form. Thank you for watching the video. If this was helpful to you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.